It's already started. I thought we were going to record sooner. I thought we were going to get into it, but our personal life dramas.
For fuck's sake, let's cut out that first.
Oh no! I would. Yeah, don't worry.
Well, then let's start.
Yeah. No personal life and work dramas are getting on this podcast.
Well, let's do this, buddy. Let's start the podcast now.
We have. I mean, if you need to say it officially into a microphone, that's cool.
Well, if you need a good point of reference, this is it right here.
Me?
This is the point. No, this point of reference to edit.
Oh yeah. No, I get it.
Okay, so it's been a wild week.
Has it?
I think it's been a lot's happened this week. I think.
Well, dude.
I have a lot to go over just the obvious,
Holy
just
shit.
things that have happened in the last 48 hours, bro. I am still on a high from that Mandalorian.
Oh my god,
finale.
It's funny because we rarely talk geek culture, so this might alienate a lot of people. But it's Star Wars, so whatever.
It's the Mandalorian's at hand.
Let's go back earlier in the week.
Okay, all right.
Can I tell you that I am still burned out from Monday and Tuesday of this week, where and this is kind of work related, but
hey, you guys were on the road till almost 5 o'clock.
They fucking one day. Listen. The joke is we never work a full day.
Yeah.
We get there and
we get all our work done in a reasonable time.
But by 8 o'clock we're on the road.
Yeah.
And then we're usually we've got everything done and we're killing time until 3 because some weirdo office person has a thing in their head that they don't want us back any earlier than 3. Doesn't mean we're working. Well, it just means we're sitting in a parking lot waiting to get back at 3.
I don't want to get too far into that, but yeah, we always get our work accomplished.
Nobody listens. None of them listen to us.
We get all the work. No, but it's like I don't want anyone thinking like we slack off. We don't.
Oh no.
We don't. We get all our work done. We're always. You can ask sometimes. Ben will want to stop and do something, but we got to get a call done. We have to get to the next thing. And it's very rare. It's very rare that you want to stop someplace, but I'll know that I know the bin is like, hey, that's a place right there when you tap on the windows. And sometimes it's a indication that you want to go there. Sometimes it's not. Or like you're pointing things out for future reference.
Yeah. Mostly food places.
Yeah. Oh, it's almost always food places.
Yeah. I'm not asking to stop 8 times a day to eat.
We still haven't. What was that place? Griddled and.
Oh, I forget.
Griddled and pounded or some shit. I don't know. I don't know.
Sounds like a porno.
That fucking 100% sounds like a porno.
I don't know. Yeah, up like in
griddled and baked or some shit like that.
Like in
we always get there. We're always either too early,
right?
Or it's like
we already ate.
Yeah, or we already ate.
Right, and then we're like, God damn it. Yeah, it's something grill something, but it's in a shopping strip. So, I was saying that
you guys worked for fucking
that and this leads into something else, but that first day I didn't get home till 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So it was like a full day of work, and it was like this. Now listen, not that we don't every day put in a full day's worth of work. It may be in a 6-hour day or a 5-hour day, but it's a full day's worth of work.
Gets in.
And that day I had been driven all the way down to like Southwest Miami, and then a bunch of stops all the way to like East Fort Lauderdale Beach area, and then all the way up to like Jupiter or somewhere, maybe even further north, and then I had to come all the way back down and and just fucking just how do you look? I'm not going to criticize how you do your work, but like if you're booking a full week's worth of calls, maybe you say, all right, today we're going to book a bunch of north ones, and tomorrow we'll book a bunch of south ones instead of having. So
they just use economy.
So those 2 days were like really long, and this is why I brought that up, because I had the full work day. Is that the boss said something about you? You didn't get back till like 5:30, and I kind of tilted my head like a dog hearing a fart, and he goes, "Oh, I get a alert on my phone every time the car stopped for more than 15 minutes, kind of like as if it's done for the day or something."
Yeah.
So now we know. He slipped and let us know that we can't stay parked for 15 minutes.
Nonsense. Listen, I will tell you this: if our work is getting done,
yeah,
all that minutia bullshit.
No, but I was like, I'm like, it got into my head where I'm like, if I'm not in front of a food place during lunchtime for more than 15 minutes, I'm like, oh, they're gonna know we've been here a while. But it's not bad because if someone's having trouble at a stop or something.
But
but
yeah, I don't know. There's a little bit of nonsense with work, but I don't really want to get.
No,
into
I'm
too
just
much.
saying that I've been like, I'm still burned out.
Yeah,
from
you guys,
all that fucking driving.
Yeah, you guys were all over the fucking place. We were all over the place all week, really. I mean, we were in Jupiter the other day, and
we went twice.
Yeah, people don't realize is like in a given day, we can't go all the way down to like Cutler Bay, and all the way up to like. Well, really Jupiter, but we have gone further.
Like Jensen Beach.
Yeah, for a company based out of, the 595 truck stop.
Yeah. The 954 area code.
Yeah. And apparently the next year we'll be going out to Cape Coral and Naples for calls here and there. Which that isn't a bad drive. That's just across Alligator Alley. But it is 2 hours away.
Mm.
But anyway, buddy, should I break the big news?
I mean, that's.
It's our last not our last podcast of the year, but our last podcast before Christmas. It's basically our Christmas podcast.
So is this the Christmas holiday?
This is my Christmas gift to the 10 people that listen to this podcast.
and two of them probably already know.
Yes, Margaret is probably already two yellow legal pads deep on ideas for the upcoming
go ahead.
excitement. But my wife and I, actually just my wife.
Well,
my wife is pregnant, and Papa Prime here has a baby on the way.
You really did it to yourself now, pal.
As my boy Kevin said, this is literally what you've wanted since I met you. You better be ready for this.
Yeah.
And I have to say, for anyone out there who has children now or is trying for children, the ones trying for children won't, but the ones who have kids will understand. And I'm pretty sure one day I'll probably call up AJ and get his 2 cents on it, considering he's got 2 kids. But you never think you're going to think the things you're going to think. You never think the things that are important. And you're never prepared for the weird shit that you never thought you'd have to worry about until the news comes that you have a fucking kid on the way. And then all of a sudden, things that weren't important not 24 hours ago are like, oh, shit, I need to get my ass into gear about X, Y, and Z, or whatever it might be.
Yeah, I have to call him. Because
are we doing equipment?
Yeah, put the headphones on.
I got the headphones on, but I can't hear anything.
No,
yeah.
You don't hear anything.
I don't hear anything.
What do I owe this pleasure?
Now, Brown.
What do I owe this?
Whoa!
Okay.
Whoa! We got AJ on the line.
Hold on. Marco made a big announcement on the podcast just now.
Yeah, and I actually invoked your name.
But hold on. I just want to break the news to you, Marco.
Oh no.
That Anthony accidentally slipped it in like 2 podcasts ago. And
son of a bitch.
And he slipped it in like just barely. He made like a vague reference to Daddy Marco or something. I said, "Don't."
That's all I said was.
And I
Daddy
said,
Marco.
And so many people listen to his podcast as opposed to ours.
Yeah, but they don't. But they don't know who. But the ones that listen to him are the thirsty TikTokers. They don't know.
That's true.
They don't
Yeah.
know. So I go. I'm paraphrasing all this. I go,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, you can't say that."
Yeah.
I said, "You can't. You're not allowed. You're not the one that's allowed to do that."
You took my spot.
I said, "Now I got to edit this." and then life went on, and then on the next podcast, he says or was it on the podcast, or was it? I think it was on the podcast.
I said, did you edit it? I said, did you bleep it out?
And I go, "Oh, I totally forgot." But I haven't heard any backlash about it, so maybe we slipped one past the goalie there.
Oh my God, it's canon now.
Just like Marco slipped one past the goalie with Natalia. We accidentally announced it and no one paid attention. So I figured I'd bring.
All I said was "Daddy."
But it was in a context, I think, where it would imply if anyone.
I could have been calling him Daddy. Who knows?
Maybe we have that kind of relationship, Ben, and you don't know.
Right.
Well, then it was very important. I called you now to find this out before our group relationship went any further. To know I'm on the outside looking in on this thing.
So now it's official.
It's official. Papa Prime is.
So now we could just start ripping you on the other two podcasts.
I was gonna say, can we just start ripping him now?
Yeah, go the fuck ahead. Fuck ahead.
Listen, here's the man that's dealt with two. Still dealing with two. He's gonna. Yeah. I mean, he's gonna be enjoying watching you go through hell.
I was gonna say, as he was setting up the headphones, AJ, to bring you on board. I was saying, I might have to reach out to AJ at some point and get the 411 on what to expect in the upcoming life fucking time.
Yeah,
because you've been through it.
He's almost out.
Yeah, well, he's got more than a few years left. It's not like 18. He's never going to speak to Nick again.
He might be.
Well.
It might be. Nick is a dick.
You deal with him for a day and see.
Oh my goodness. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't think it was on the podcast, but he and phone conversations. He's very excited to kind of let you know that he's over the hump. Oh. And that you're just starting to climb up that hill.
Yeah. I was gonna say, listen, I'm not to rub it in, but
yes,
Lex will be 18 and I'll be 45, sipping Mai Tais on the beach in Hawaii.
This guy.
Looking on Facebook going, look at Marco going to the Christmas parade for the 3rd grade.
And I'm going to be so fucking excited, you'll have no idea.
Oh, God.
My soul will have been taken from my body. I'm very excited. We're going to talk a lot of shit in the upcoming months, but I just want to say for everyone listening that wants to think otherwise, this is the thing I've wanted for a long time. So I'm very excited. Natalia's very excited. Our parents are more than excited. My mother is already her mother's already constantly asking questions and wondering, oh, have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this? Yeah, we're adults. We can figure this out. I've been around children my entire life. There's no surprises. If it comes out breathing fire, I have an X-Men on my hands.
Here's the thing, and this is. I don't think this could be any more true. Parents will tell you how to raise your children forever, as if you have no clue.
Oh yeah,
and right, and my mom and dad still think. Did you feed the kids? No, I let them starve. Why did you ask me that now? My mom will call and ask me, did you feed them? I'm like, it's 10 o'clock at night. Do you think I let them starve all day? Why would you even ask me that?
Plus, your kids are now at an age where if they're hungry, they will let you know for sure.
Or if they starve, it's their own damn fault.
Yeah, they have all the knowledge and they have everything they need to stay healthy and happy. Yeah, if they die at this point of malnourishment, that's a them problem.
That's on them, right. So, that'll never go away. It's going to go for the rest of your life. One parent will tell you that you're doing something wrong somewhere along the way.
I'm going to tell you what I'm terrified of.
I didn't need kids to have a parent telling me I was doing something wrong.
True.
I'm going to tell you what I'm truly terrified of, and AJ will understand this because he's still going through it, even though his children are much older. I am not worried about raising a child. I'm worried about when my child has friends and I have to deal with the friends' parents. That is what I'm truly worried about, because we, not only in this podcast, our group of friends where we come from with wrestling, we are all men.
Right. Right.
And outside, when we deal with people outside, there are some soft-shelled motherfuckers, man. And, the people that raise their kids like their kids are made of fucking, Fabergé eggs or...
Right.
My son is the best. He can do no wrong as he's breaking my shit. It's going to be those are the issues I'm worried about because I don't know if we've ever brought it up on this podcast. I have a temper.
My dad. No, my dad was like that when I'd bring kids home that were a little there was a kid. I had a kid that I was friends with when I was younger that was just really hyper and antsy and stuff like that. My dad used to, when we would all eat at the table for dinner when I had the kid over, he would make that kid hold the table leg with one hand so that he was sort of still,
Wow.
He's like, don't let go of that table leg. I want your hand on that table leg the whole time.
And if you tried that in 2020, that kid would go back to his parents and go,
Right.
"Oh, Mr. Temples made me hold the table leg through all dinner," and then you've got a fucking lawsuit on your hands. Like,
Right.
"Oh, my child would never." And
My dad would be like, but did you eat?
yeah. But that's what I'm worried about, AJ. And
Yeah.
you know, man, I'm just really worried that I'm going to be around people where I'm going to spend the entire evening going like, I want to punch everyone here, but I can't.
That's
I can't,
every.
and I'm not going to be able to smoke because we're going to be at a family event. So I'm just going to have to sit there and hope that I have enough Jack Daniels in my hidden fucking flask just to make it through. Like, I know these things. Like, man, I don't know. Did you ever meet my dad? Either one of you?
I met him.
Maybe back in the day.
I met him the weekend that he dropped you off.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
weekend. I met him. Basically the last chance I could to meet him.
I spend most of my day trying not to reach the levels of anger my dad used to get around people, and I know that I am my father's son, so I'm looking into the future, going like, I'm like, there's gonna come a time where we're gonna have to choose jail time over, like, like someone's gonna say something. Yeah, another parent, and you and our private thread, you talk a lot about the aggravations you go through watching like Nick play sports. I won't be able to be allowed. I mean, times I was playing baseball, or when me and my brother used to play tennis when we were kids, my dad would have to be like escorted out of the fucking facility.
Anthony's been asked to leave.
Yeah.
Right.
Anthony films for the basketball team, and he heckles everyone on the team. He shits on the coach.
That's fucking
the
phenomenal.
whole thing.
I bury everybody,
Yeah.
and then they go watch it after, and they're like, "You're just burying everybody."
Yep.
I was like, "Yeah."
He called the kid a turnover machine.
I'm gonna be a Will Ferrell movie. I'm fucking 100%
Yeah,
gonna
but
be a Will Ferrell movie.
My dad wasn't like that with like sports, but like he was really like, he didn't like those gatherings either. Like it was like supposed to be like, the couple's friends kind of thing, but my dad never liked any of them. And like, I know we would go to like someone's house and there'd be like, it was a big thing with like, maybe 40, 50 people there, including a bunch of kids. And one time my dad just wanted nothing to do with anyone. He went into the room where all the kids were playing video games and just sat in there and watched us play video games.
That's fantastic.
And my mom kept poking in, like giving him the Jim, get out here kind of thing. And he's like, he had no interest.
Because he left her all alone out there.
But that's how I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather sit at the kids' table than with the other dumbass adults.
The kids have better things to say.
Right. Like, right.
More interesting things. Yeah. It's
Right.
So yeah, no, but we're really excited. We're about a month in, and the first ultra. Here's another thing that's really upsetting. This is upsetting for me, and it may not affect. And I don't know how you feel, AJ. You've gone through it twice now, so maybe you have different feelings about it. And Ben, well, let's be honest, you ain't having any kids.
I have no interest.
Yeah. I'm not allowed in any of the ultrasound appointments or any of the other medical appointments. It has to be over.
What did they do? A background check on you? Or
No, because of COVID. You son of a bitch.
But here's the thing. So I find that to be totally ridiculous. I would be livid.
I'm fucking livid, man. January 4th is the first ultrasound. I'm not allowed in there. I have to be Skyped. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck, man?
You can go to Walmart with 4,000 other people. That's okay.
Yeah.
But you can't go into the ultrasound
privately with your wife to look at your child.
Absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. So that's
but if you're all COVID-y, I mean, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play the devil's advocate here, and you're spreading it to a bunch of pregnant women in an ultrasound place, as opposed to a bunch of, trailer park trash at the
local Wawa.
Right. It's a little bit of it. I mean, it's more of an at-risk thing, I think. But I
mean, I totally understand, but we've already gone ad nauseum about how ridiculous the rules are. They favor one thing over the other.
Right.
Nothing is consistent, and a lot of that is because how do you deal with a situation like this? But at the same time, it's
also because commerce is important to the running of the country, and and different places can make different rules. So you get the medical community. I mean, listen, we have friends that we know that are like, and maybe Anthony's sort of borderline on this because I see he gets tagged in some of this stuff. the anti-mask stuff and the whatever. It's like whatever. But I mean, Bruce last night, I saw him post something. He's like bitching about going out and wearing a mask. He's like, the only mask I had was this Trump flag, and he's going out with a giant Trump flag wrapped around his face.
No, but
like a scarf or something, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
But to be fair, nobody's fucking with Bruce Ante.
No.
I was gonna say, nobody's gonna go up to him and say anything.
No,
Right.
no.
But he doesn't want, but he's not, but at least he's sensible enough to know that he's not looking for that confrontation. He still covers his
Listen.
face, even though he's going to bitch about it
Yeah.
and
Right.
troll everybody by having a giant Trump flag around his face.
That's fantastic. I mean, it's
That's
fantastic.
actually hilarious.
It is. It
It's
is
great.
hilarious.
It's great. So yeah, so actually, this is what I'm dealing with now is it's all new, trying to plan for the future, but not being able to be in the room when my wife, has to
Right.
have her ultrasounds and all that shit done. Like I want to be there for all that shit, and that part sucks. But
This is why I know I'll never have kids,
Yeah.
because I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, like the first moment, the experience, the sharing
Yeah.
of someone, but I don't have it in me. I would literally be like, all right, go get taken care of during work and send me the video.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm dead inside. I just don't know.
Maybe.
Hey, listen, speaking of COVID, I hear you coughing over there still. Are you
I can't stop coughing.
Oh my goodness.
are you over?
Listen, I was gonna say one more thing about this.
Yeah.
Marco, what you really need to be prepared for is the first night when the baby is crying and you have to go to work the next morning and you're like, I need to sleep, I gotta be up early. I guarantee you she's gonna say, you weren't even in there for the ultrasound.
Oh
Coming
no.
back on you, pal.
Oh yeah. Listen, she's already she's not even a month in. We have whipped cream in our house for no other reason for her to take shots of whipped cream to and from. Like, I'll get off work, I'll be sitting there watching the TV, all of a sudden she'll skitter, because she works at the house, across the room, from outside of her room, right into the kitchen, take 2 shots of whipped cream, and go back in during work, and I'm like, the fuck, it's already started. Just
yeah.
The insanity?
Just the weird food shit, yeah.
Right.
We went food shopping the other day, and I don't know how many times I said, no, Natalia, no, we can't have that, we're trying to be adults. Like, her craving, and I didn't know it started so early. I figured it was like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, holy shit. She hasn't started any of the morning sickness yet. I'm hoping that's a thing that passes by. I don't know how. No,
I don't think
couldn't do
everybody
it.
gets that.
Not everyone gets it. Not everyone gets
Right.
it. But when we announced it to like Margaret was like over the hill. But then right too pragmatic.
Over the hill.
Well, she was over the hill happy.
Is that a phrase?
Probably not.
Like over the moon?
Yeah, that one. We'll go with that one. That one sounds a lot better. I don't know things, okay? Some things I know, most things I don't.
Like King of the Hill and Die on that hill?
Yeah.
But I've never heard of over the
Anyway,
That's like not that excited.
Over the moon.
Compared to over the
no,
moon.
she was very excited. I have the video to prove it. We both took videos of our parents. So actually,
No, you got to tell that story.
yeah. So okay, so we told her parents first. We told my mother next, and then we started telling all our friends. The best reaction was her father. Tony was sitting at the kitchen table. I want everyone to picture this. Sitting at the kitchen table, his headphones on, he was watching soccer. All he does when he's home is sit and watch soccer. It's all he does.
Now,
Or he'll watch Chilean TV.
Now I just want to paint the clearest picture.
Yeah.
Are these big headphones or the little?
No, it was like
Like what we're wearing
like
now?
we're
The
now,
cans,
like the big cans.
Okay.
He's got his glasses on and he's watching football, and so Margaret is Natalia has her mother sit on the couch. Margaret sits on the couch, closes her eyes, wondering what the hell's going on. What we had done was Margaret loves, for Christmas she has all our stockings up. It's like a big thing. Because at Christmas Day everyone gets an orange and all that stuff. It's awesome. I love it. It's one of my favorite traditions now. So we've got
orange.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to revisit that.
Yeah, apparently you get an orange in your stocking for Christmas. It's like
You beat like the only orange in a sock is when you beat someone in the military with it.
oh my god. Anyway, no, it's like a family tradition of theirs. So and it's a great one because you get your vitamin C while you get your presents. But anyway, so we got a little baby stocking, said baby on it. put it in her hands, had her open her eyes, took a second to realize what the fuck she was holding, and over the moon. and you know, her and Natalia hugged, embraced, cried. You know, everyone had the big moment, and Tony's just sitting there, and he just raises one of his headphones and goes, "What's happening? I'm trying to wash my shit," kind of thing. It's like, you know, everyone, and I'm like, "Tony, we're having a baby." He's like, "Diapers cost $30." Puts his headphones on and keeps watching soccer.
That's great.
And then like 10 minutes later, I think he realized it. He's like, "Congratulations on the baby, but start saving your money now," kind of thing. And it's like, "Yep."
Oh my god.
Yeah. And it was for some people listening, that's like, that's a terrible reaction. I'm like, no, that's 100%. I told Natalia before we went, I'm like, if he reacts any other way, I'm going to be disappointed. Like if he's genuinely,
that's a great reaction.
if he's genuinely happy.
This is a man that I've said for like 5 years now. We need to sit him down in front of a camera and just have him tell the stories of his life.
Oh my god.
Everyone would be rich off of it.
Yeah, riding backwards on a motorcycle, shooting at the Chilean army and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
He did all kinds of crazy
He was like a
shit.
Chilean insurrectionist or rebel
Something
or
like
something
that.
like that.
There's
Yeah.
all kinds. You know, like we'd be watching some show on TV. Someone gets stabbed. He goes, I've been stabbed.
Well, that's the story.
Yeah.
She posted that on Facebook yesterday, the 5-year anniversary of the home invasion.
The home invasion.
Where he fought off 5 years ago.
Yeah, he fought-
3 people tried to break into their home, and he fought them off with like a penknife. Or
Yeah,
something.
as he told, it was
Wow.
like a decorative knife you would buy. He goes, 3 people your size stabbed him, and I was like, all right, Tony, shit, fucking good going, man. Fucking people.
You
Wow.
went over there. Was like blood everywhere.
Yeah, blood. He was like John McClane, man. Fucking.
And I picture him wearing like a Grateful Dead shirt he got at like Goodwill for like $2.
He has the greatest
That's-
shirt collection of any human being
And
I've
he's
ever
not.
met.
I love
And he's
when
not
she
like
posts that
he's
all
not
the
like
time.
our. He's like you picture someone that's gonna be able to do that. Be like our age or a little older. He's like what?
He's 70.
70?
Man.
Yeah.
He was in his late 60s, but you know he's been dealing with horses his entire life. He's probably, I mean, even at his age, I would say that Tony's stronger than, you know, especially in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Where you're completely uninhibited. You're just like, whatever you got, you go. Like, he fought off 3 dudes, and this is, you know, he was like, this is back when I was actually in shape for wrestling, too. He's like, 3 guys your size, and, you know, fought him off, and Margaret, you know, oh, my God. So, yeah. No, Tony's one of the most interesting people I've ever met in my life.
I think you just there was a good segue there. When you were in shape for wrestling,
Yeah.
I'm gonna segue to this.
Uh-oh.
What's the over under on how much weight you gained during this pregnancy?
So I'm at like 215, 220. That's what I've kept for the past couple months.
You're the lightest of all of us.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
fuck? You're also the
Wow.
tallest.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
So, but
That's gonna come to an end, Ben.
but
Don't worry.
but it's been like I haven't been splurging mostly on my diet, and I just kind of been trying to keep that weight. But yeah, and that's the thing I tried to tell Natalia when we were food shopping. First off, she had this thing where we had to go to Target and just look at baby shit, and I'm like, I can't believe we're unironically doing this now. Because well, you know, it used to be. She like, oh, look at the baby section. I'm like, yeah, we're not looking there.
Yeah, you're not looking. Yeah,
Now you have no choice.
she's looking at all the cute stuff, and all you're seeing is the price stickers on them.
Bro, Jesus Christ! I told her, I was like, my new thing is. She's like, look at this. I'm like, add to the registry. Just add to the registry. You've got a lot of rich relatives.
If it's anything they can outgrow in 6 months, it ain't worth it.
Yeah, she's like, well, what do you think you would buy if it wasn't in the registry? I'm like, well, I'll tell you what.
A lot of burlap.
I was like, I'll buy the baby monitoring system, because that's something that you're gonna have for the first year or two. Like you're gonna need that.
Right.
It's not a fucking onesie that you spend $30 on and the baby wears twice before it's too small.
I figured you would just get but you would go, but I'll do it my way and get Transformer walkie-talkies.
I didn't
So that you
specify.
could use them later.
I didn't specify which monitoring system I was getting. That we're still shopping that, okay?
Yeah.
I've been on.
Yeah, but like the monitor, the stroller, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Like a stroller can last years.
Yeah, something that's
You know?
going. Something I
Right.
want to buy.
Well-
I want to buy for our baby because I'm not worried about clothing. My mother. Let me tell you something. My niece. All right, my mother has bought so many clothes for that little girl. I I know, and plus my brother's just going through it. My niece is only a year old.
Well,
so
I'm saying your brother just had a baby, so you're going to get that nice trickle-down effect
that's
where you're not going to have
correct.
to...
In fact, I'm meeting him today, and I'm like, listen, man, you just start putting, like, spray it down with Lysol, put it in the corner, and I'll go grab it.
You might want to cross your fingers you have a girl. Just so you save even more money.
So since you brought that up,
oh, here we go.
I'm going to love my child no matter what or who they are.
But
if I could not have a daughter, that would be swell.
No, but I'm going to tell you something. They're easier.
Are they?
Oh, listen, I'll send Nick to you for a week, and then you're going to be like, "Do we have a daughter?"
These are the most. I need to save this piece of audio for 2 years from now. I cannot wait.
Yeah, you'll see.
Yeah.
Listen. The boys are lazy. They're pigs. They are like the worst. The worst.
That's fair.
I mean, that was the way it was in my house. 3 boys and then a girl, and my parents were. I mean, it was like I don't think my mom could have handled another boy. I literally think she lost her mind somewhere.
Yeah.
During the course of like when there were all 4 of us, there were moments where the screaming got to a level, and she had that snatch arm that would reach out and grab you by the hair as you tried to run away.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I think she lost it for a little bit there. She literally lost her shit dealing with 4 kids.
Yeah,
3 of them being boys.
I mean, I'm hoping for twins so I can just snippy and get it over with.
That's
just get a boy and a girl right off the bat. Fuck it, 2 girls. I don't care. Let's just do it. It's happening anyway.
Dude.
May as well.
Dude, if you have fucking twins and they're identical twins, I'm never coming to your house again. Identical twins are the creepiest fucking thing ever, especially when you dress them alike and they have the same haircut and they finish each other's sentences. That's creepy. Like
twins don't run in either of our families.
That's Stephen King shit, man. I don't.
I'm
not interested.
It'd be funny if we were to have twins. It would probably have to be some Stephen King shit because that doesn't run in either one of our families. Neither one of us have ever had twins in our families. So, I think to have twins, you have to have had it somewhere in your genealogy.
I don't know. This sounds like
bro science.
Like you saw this in a show somewhere.
I think if I were to do a Google search, Google would protect these words.
Google would shrug. We don't. Do you mean sports cars?
But no, it's funny because I almost wanted to go. Well, you know what? Me and my brothers we're genuinely I'm one of the cleanest people. I'm very I like to clean. I'm very organized. But then I'm like, no. But me as a kid was a monster. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, little boys are fucking terrorists. They sure are Al Qaeda.
Well, yeah, awful.
And if I have a little boy and he wants to start a shoe collection, I might have to ship him off to like the Philippines or something and just like get a swap or something because I can't do that shoe collection nonsense. And I know that between you and your son, you got enough shoes to last you guys for a long time.
Yeah. I should have shipped him off a long time ago.
But you know what? In like 10 years, it'll all be swell because you'll be like the Orange. You guys will do everything together.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. Listen, that generation of children are not the same. We are not the same. That is for sure.
If you have a boy, you got to concentrate really hard on raising a throwback. Like just a kid that maybe doesn't have a lot of friends because you raised him right and he's just, he's insensitive and tough and but doesn't cry when he skins his knee and stuff like that.
You know what I'm going to do? You
need a Brock Lesnar.
I'll wait till he's like 5 or 6, and I'll give him the Billy for like a year.
Oh.
Like Billy could be like a Mr. Miyagi,
But the best part is Billy will still look the way he does today.
Yes. And then my son would come back, just talking shit, and I would be probably too scared to like. Say
The problem is he'd encourage while making him a man, he would encourage him to fucking. Shit on you 24
Yeah, 100%. I'm my own kid shit on me and I'm scared to say anything because he was trained by Billy.
He's like, but Dad, Billy said this and Billy said that.
Well, Billy's right, son.
I love how we it through this podcast perpetuate the legend of Billy Fives.
Legend nothing. We've all seen it.
No, but I mean, just because it's the legend doesn't mean it's not true. It's just,
Wow. Well,
so yeah, baby on the way.
I heard a little clattering over there. What are you cooking? What are you eating, fat boy?
that wasn't me.
No, I heard a little earlier.
That was my daughter. She, I don't know, came down because here's the, you know what, life lesson of having a kid number 2. I don't see them unless it's time to eat. So she scurried down out of her room for the first time in 2 days, made a bowl of cereal, ate it, leaves it in the sink, doesn't even, and then just scurries back upstairs. That's it. I got Rice Krispies all over my.
I'm already triggered by that story.
No, she spilled them.
Already triggered by that story. Your daughter and Natalia have a lot in common. I don't know how many times. I'm like, it's not hard to put it in the washing machine. It just isn't. It isn't hard to like wash a dish, put it in the washing machine. That's what it's for.
Well, in our apartments, which you and I have the same layout,
yeah,
you have to walk by the washing machine to get to the sink. So you're literally,
you're there.
It's extra steps.
It's on your way out.
Yeah.
Of the kitchen. Yeah. No. It's and I had the conversation with her the other day. I'm like, listen, all your room and all that. My wife is not the cleanest person, self-admittedly. And I told her, I was like, all that shit has to come to an end because with baby comes so much less time to do stuff and a whole lot more stuff, and the more mobile that baby becomes, the harder it's going to be to keep a clean house. So might as well train yourself now to be like, I've done eating, boom, in the dishwasher. Oh, I've done this activity over here, clean up after you're done.
Good luck breaking.
I know.
26 years or whatever it is of.
I'm one of those rare people. I'm very fucking, organized and clean, and it upsets me.
But here's the thing. My children were, then they became teenagers. And it's like they forgot how to live life like a certain way. And now it's anarchy. I'm doing the dishes yesterday. I'm like cleaning up, and Lex comes downstairs with like 4 cups, 3 spoons, 2 plates, and like 5 things of garbage. I was like, what is going on? And I'm thinking, no wonder I haven't seen you in 2 days. Like you're holed up in your room. Like you got a fridge up there? Like I don't know. Like.
And what's funny is they're going to be that way until they're living on their own, realize how the monsters they've become, and then they'll get clean again and then apologize to you at some point. But at that point, the damage has been done.
Listen, maybe I shouldn't say this on a podcast, but I'm not entirely sure that wasn't a major contributing factor in my brother's divorce. Is that he lives in his own filth, just. You go to when he comes to pick you up in his car, you have to move a ton of trash to sit in his seat. Every time I come over to the house, there's just clutter everywhere.
That's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
A grown man who can't throw his own shit away. Oh my God! Like the level of it's like, well, we're still going to hang.
Shouldn't have said that.
Like we're still going to hang out because you're cool. But my respect for you has diminished greatly by this interaction. It's just not hard. Especially your brother, who's now a single individual, it's not hard to keep your little castle clean. It just isn't.
You would think. Listen, my bedroom. I'm a single guy.
Yeah,
my bedroom's my thing. But in the regular
your apartment
rest of the house,
your guys' apartment is always in a relative clean shape.
Relatively.
I'm actually envious you have carpet because some days you can just not vacuum if you don't want to.
Dude, I would never have a hardwood floor.
Oh my goodness!
Especially with a pet.
That's the thing. That's the other thing. She was the other day. She was just like, "Well, we're having a baby." I'm like, "No, we're not adding to that just because." Like I can't. Like I don't know.
You mean you don't want to get a puppy at exactly the same time and have double headaches? But you could take such cute pictures together.
Oh my fucking God! I'll just borrow Seth's dog.
Oh, let's not.
That little dog is cute as shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should say that name on the podcast. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm just talking about the dog.
Listen, we've listen, Anthony. You've already been the
I've said too
spoiler on a pregnancy. Let's
Yeah.
not be a spoiler on anything else.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! But yeah, no. I was like, I would allow a cat. I would allow a cat only because cats don't give a fuck.
Ugh.
They just
Right,
do their
a
own
cat
thing.
kind of does its own thing, right?
Yeah, it's just clean the litter box.
Can I? No. Can I? Let me tell you the difference between a cat and a dog. Again, the dog
Yeah.
is trained to go outside.
Yeah.
Granted, he'll have an accident every now and then and whatever. A dog only gets to like couch level. A cat goes wherever the fuck it wants. It shits in the house. It pisses in the house. Granted, it's in a box, but then its feet have been in that box with the shit and the piss and the kitty litter, and then it's walking on your counters you make your food on. It's walking on your table you eat at.
What a point.
It's everywhere. It's filthy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Anyone that owns a cat, it's disgusting. And I'm biased because I'm allergic to them. But like a dog, I get it. A dog, it it has drawbacks too. You have to walk it 3 times a day, et cetera, et cetera. A cat it's disgusting. And no matter how quickly you're scooping that stuff and throwing it out, there is still piss and shit at some point in your house, in the air in your house, sharing the same air with you. It's disgusting. I'm sorry. You're not going to sell me on the pros of a cat. Other than that, like, you could leave a cat for 3 days and not have a disaster in your house.
You're just mad you're allergic to them.
No, I'm not. It's gross. It's gross. Especially with the impunity that they can go wherever they want.
I'm not a
at
cat
any
person.
level that they want. It's like they're on your surfaces. And you're not wiping them down every time.
God, you are angry about cats.
But I'm yeah, because it's gross, and people are gross that have cats.
They
don't think about that.
I take the Mike Tyson approach to cats. If I can own a tiger, that's cool. Otherwise, I don't need a cat.
They're always shoving their asshole in your face. It's gross.
It's true. It's true. And
some cats, I've woken up with a cat sitting on my chest, staring at me at night. That's fucked up, soul sucking shit. That's like
Jesus.
Ben's been around some bad cats.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I lived a year with a roommate that his girlfriend had a cat, and I was literally on Benadryl 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And if I didn't take it, some night, if I forgot to take one, I'd wake up in the middle of the night, in the middle of sleep, unable to breathe, and then for the next hour, waiting for a pill to kick in so I can just catch a decent
Jesus
breath.
Christ.
Brutal.
But the only other thing I'll say about it for right now is I'm hoping that this whole vaccine nonsense can get us to a good place by June, July, because the due date for the baby would be around late August, early September. And that's another thing is, so we've been trying, obviously unsuccessfully. The other month, my mom made me take my dad's ashes out of her house because she just couldn't look at him anymore, obviously, and until we find, until we spread them out. There's some weird places that she wants to put his ashes, but she didn't want him in the house. So I brought him over. I put Dad in the kitchen. And I'd be like, "Here, old man, you're by the alcohol. If you fucking drink my Jack, you better replace it," kind of thing. And within 3 weeks, we're pregnant, and the due date is close to my dad's birthday. So my father might be a fertility god as a job in his later stages here. So, which case I'm going to
What a great rib would
I'm
be.
going to lease his services out.
I was going to say, if you just leave him in someone's house without them knowing it for a week.
I told my sister that. She's like, "You keep that fucking shit away from me. I don't need that nonsense in my house." I'm like, well, "What's wrong, Casey? You don't want a kid?" She's like, "Fuck that, not now." I'm like, all right. You don't get that then. So yeah, my father's a fertility god. I'm pretty much convinced at this point. So if anybody needs to have another kid, let me know. I'll rent out his services. He works cheap. Just put him next to a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Yeah, keep that away from me.
Well, buddy, you have so many issues going on right now.
Well, he definitely doesn't need that.
Yeah, you don't need that. You don't need that with some of the
the light at the end of the tunnel's coming. He doesn't need to start back at the beginning.
and some of the ladies of the night that you may or may not be seeing.
Jesus,
I don't know.
Ladies of the night, those are
know.
aren't those prostitutes?
Isn't anyone on TikTok a fucking whore?
I mean,
Oh Lord, here we go.
A whore doesn't charge.
Oh,
I apologize.
but
for
you're
the
always
comments,
paying.
everyone.
You're always paying. Oh, they know. Stop it. They know.
Where his followers went from 53,000 to 52,500.
The opinions presented are not necessarily the opinions of one AJ.
You know what?
No.
You deserve it for announcing his pregnancy 2 shows ago.
Yeah, this is
I
your
just called
come
him
up.
Daddy. That's all.
You did it in a way where
That's the weird thing too. No, everyone's like, "Hey, Dad," and I'm like, "Is this a thing you do now?
Yeah.
It's a thing. You have a kid, and everyone's like sarcastic.
Yeah.
Yay, Dad,
Papa Prime.
Papa Prime.
Hey,
I like Papa Prime better.
I
Yeah.
do too. They hashtag Papa Prime. Everybody, let's do
oh
it.
my God,
Make it a
you don't
thing.
get a hashtag.
No, I just don't want to be called fucking. It's weird because, it's just like, when you look at it like I'm almost 40, so it's like someone comes up and out of context, "Hey, Daddy," everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, what kind of weird shit's going on in the Prime household?"
Especially if they say it like they're a 19-year-old girl.
Yeah. It just feels weird to hear.
I'm going to end it on this. This probably will end the podcast.
I doubt that.
What's going to be great is when you take your child to school and they say, "Is that your grandpa?"
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
Ding!
Oh my goodness.
Wait till the kids at school find out you used to be a pro wrestler.
No, that's no.
They're going to be like, "When was your dad a pro wrestler? In like
Nah.
1970?
Oh my goodness. Here's the thing they don't understand though. Like if they want to try to like embarrass me in front of their friends with that nonsense, it's like, "Motherfucker, I'm a shit talking genius. I will bury you in front of your friends. Bury you in ways that you will never recover from."
I have a video of you talking shit to like a 12-year-old at that last uproar show you
I
did
have
at the
no
brewery.
problem burying children. None, especially my own. And when someone's like, "That's your child," like, that's right. It's my child. And he needs to learn a lesson
here we
right
go.
the fuck now.
So
Yeah.
Anthony, before we go, I just want to let you know I've been really battling with the decision to get a pizza today.
I had a pizza last night.
Yeah,
It was good.
Listen,
Hungry
just-
Howie's,
I mean,
man.
your whole,
I like Hungry Howie.
I do too. I told Natalia last night, I'm like, no more Domino's. Hungry Howie's, fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
no more Domino's. Oh, it's a Hungry Howie's from here
You
on
can
out.
get the different kind of crust. You
Yeah.
Can, like, yeah.
It's there's selection, and it doesn't taste like I'm eating cardboard.
Right. I'm
No.
actually searching to see if there's a Hungry Howie's in my.
look how easy it is. Yeah, I've been fighting all day. I've been having
Listen, the Dolphins start at 1:00. It's a big game.
yeah,
Get the pizza.
treat myself.
I mean, listen. I'm rooting for the Dolphins. I not only do I want to see them beat the shit Patriots.
I feel as if the Dolphins are everything that we are hoping they were going to be or are going to be in the future, especially after last week. We are expected to win this game.
Sure.
We're expected to
The
win this
Patriots
game.
are awful. They're absolutely awful.
They're bad. The best thing they got going for them is the outfits Cam wears to their losses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we absolutely should win this game. We should beat the fucking Raiders next week because they're a fucking fuck show on fire.
Fuckity fuck.
And then we're probably gonna lose to Buffalo.
Well, Buffalo is really good.
Buffalo's legit. I think we can all agree
right.
now.
They may have nothing to play for and be resting a lot of guys.
That is true too. 'Cause didn't they already clinched?
Yeah. They clinched. Yeah, they had a
Would
parade.
we?
They had a nice
Would we
parade when
clinch
they
a
came
wild card by beating the Raiders next week?
I don't know.
Because they're
No, I think the Ravens, if they win
The
out,
Ravens
we
are
don't.
the other.
Oh,
right.
yeah. It's weird how the Ravens were terrible most of the year, but now all of a sudden are making that late season run. Whereas like the Steelers are making their late season run the other way.
Running away
The
from
other
it.
direction. Yeah.
And now they're like, we started the season, we're like, my God, they're so legit, they're so awesome. And now we're like, Big
Right.
Ben should retire. It's like, whoa. It's been 3
Right.
weeks. What happened?
Well, here's the sad news. There's no Hungry Howie's. The closest one's 32 miles. I don't think I'm going there.
No.
Bro, if you drive 32 out, if you drive that long for a Hungry Howie's, what the fuck kind of cocaine is in that pizza?
Yeah, I'm going to order pizza.
He wouldn't
today.
drive that. He wouldn't drive that far for a blowjob.
No.
No,
let alone a pizza.
No bullshit.
But I am going to order a pizza today because Ben, you've set the tone.
Yeah, and
Did I put it in? Did I drop the little seed in the soil there.
And now that's my
You
lunch.
manifested a pizza here.
Yeah, my leftovers are now my lunch.
I'm still not convinced for myself, but I'm sure.
Sort of the pizza.
I'm sure you're going to check in on me 10 times before the end of the game to make sure I ordered it.
You know, I just realized I'm supposed to go hang out with my brother and his wife and my niece, and I'm hoping because I left the time on. I woke up with almost no recollection of what day today is because of the bullshit that's going on with our work
That we're not talking about.
So we're not talking about. So I didn't even realize the Dolphins played at 1. And I left the date. I was like, whatever time you want. And knowing my brother, he's been like, about 2:00. And I'd be like, can we push it to 4?
Disrespectful. Listen,
He doesn't care about football.
We're going to end it on this. Anyone who's disrespectful enough to schedule their thing during a Dolphins game needs.
He doesn't watch football. He doesn't care about sports.
Yeah, but you have to think about the other people. You got to be like those fucking people that have their weddings on like a Sunday during football season. It's like, well, if you want people to sort of be paying attention to your wedding, I mean,
Right.
go for it. But everyone's going to be on their phone with their ear things.
I was immediately thinking you were shooting at me because my wedding was on a Sunday. But I'm like, hey, man, I was after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, I will never forgive my cousin for having his wedding on WrestleMania.
I wouldn't have gone.
It was the first WrestleMania I ever missed. I was a kid.
Oh.
I think it was WrestleMania
Did you sit there the entire time like, I hope you get divorced, you motherfucker?
13 or 14. Yeah, no, I was so mad, and my dad kept saying, "You're not enjoying yourself." I was like, "Yeah, I'm missing WrestleMania for this shit. Like, who cares?"
Oh, and it was a nighttime wedding too?
Yes.
Oh.
I missed the whole entire WrestleMania.
It's. I mean, like I joke about like a regular season football game, but know that during football season on Sunday, if you're getting married,
Oh, yeah.
you better do it early, because otherwise people are going to be invested in something else. But a one-off event like WrestleMania or the Super Bowl or whatever,
Go fuck your mother, no.
Yeah. Go, it's blue cheese on your wings. Go fuck your mother.
Yeah, fuck all that shit. Fuck all that. All bets are off. Listen, if the Dolphins reach the playoffs, anybody getting married that day, you'd be lucky if you get the fucking pre-shows up.
Yeah.
Right?
But
Down here?
It's funny. I remember another time we had to go to a wedding, and it was playoffs, and the Giants were in the playoffs. The Giants were in the playoffs, and my dad kept disappearing, and I realized, I said, "Where are you going?" So he's like, "Come on." And every so often, me and my dad would go to the hotel where it was that bar because the game was on. And my dad's like, "We could sneak away every couple minutes. No one will know." And we would go watch the game and come back, go watch the game. And the Giants, no, it was fucking the Super Bowl. The Giants and the Ravens, I think it was. Yeah, that's what it was. When the Giants, I think was it the Super Bowl?
If the Giants,
if they were playing the Ravens,
lost,
it would have to be in the Super Bowl.
And they have to have lost because their only 2 Super Bowls are against the
trying to
Patriots.
No, they've had.
Right.
They've had.
Did they play the
they've
Ravens in
like
the
5
Super
rings.
Bowl? Maybe it was the playoffs.
Did they beat the Patriots?
But it wasn't
the
the Ravens.
I don't fucking know. I think the Ravens, because remember, it might have been the year the Ravens went from Cleveland to Baltimore because then they won the fucking Super Bowl, and the whole thing was they changed their name, and and fucking Ray Lewis and all that shit. It might have been that year. I don't fucking remember.
Maybe it wasn't the Giants, but it was the Super. No, it was. It was 2001.
Yeah, that's time-wise is close to that. We could all do research, but that's above all of us.
No, I just looked. It was 2001.
Yeah.
And the Giants lost like 34-7 or some crazy score.
Yeah, and it was just the weirdest thing. Like, all you have to do to win is leave Cleveland. I mean, LeBron did it. All you gotta do is leave Cleveland, and you win.
Well,
so much.
All right, I gotta go eat. I'm gonna order pizza now.
All right, buddy. It was great hearing from you.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
luck in life.
You're gonna get some late night phone calls where it's just gonna be like, "Hey, gee, this thing happened. Am I fucked?"
There's shit up the baby's back. Well, that happens. You better get your sleep in now, because in 9 months you're not gonna be sleeping.
Just gonna turn on the shower and hold him in it, let him wash off.
That's the way I dealt with my dog.
What you do?
I hold his tail up and just pressure spray him with a hose on the side of it.
Well, if my kid has a tail, I'm gonna be rich. So you all get along for that ride. But yeah, I'll do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Hopefully, my child doesn't have a tail.
I'm just saying, like you just point the butt at a stream of water.
Yeah.
Is my point.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Okay.
listen. I'm going to end it on this, and I really do have to go. My son just texted me from upstairs because he's too lazy to come
For
downstairs,
fuck's
and
sake.
says you want to start putting the new basketball hoop together now. Which, by the way, it's his Christmas present. So I'm going to use the excuse of, oh no, you have to wait till after Christmas because I don't want to put a basketball hoop together right now
Dude, why can't Nick put his own fucking basketball hoop together?
because then the hoop would be upside down or backwards.
But beyond all that, don't you have like a TV station that's still left unbuilt in the fucking garage? Like
I got you know
you've got like 1,000 projects that have got like one page in the manual.
I don't
and you're
even
locked away.
remember what the status was of the barbecue.
Yeah, the fucking that your brother like
Started.
I paid somebody to do it.
I'm just
I
gonna.
paid some guy who drove from Macon, Georgia, which is about an hour. He drove here for me to pay him $50 to put my grill together.
That's the hustle, brother.
Wow.
I
I
respect
can't
that.
imagine he made much money on that one.
Wow.
But,
oh my god.
yeah.
All right. Well, Nick's
right.
never getting his basketball hoop. But that's a him issue because as a young man, he should just be out there putting it together. He'll figure it the fuck out. Listen, we all had to.
Yeah.
We all had
Well,
to. All right, man. Well, go enjoy your pizza.
Yeah.
And
You guys have fun.
always, brother.
Goodbye.
All right.
Later.
Okay. Bye.
Goodbye.
Let's make sure he hung up.
There. I
There
hear.
you
Oh my
Before
god.
we talk shit about him.
He's never building that fucking basketball hoop.
I mean, I guess he has to, or he'll
He'll
pay
have
that
to.
dude.
Oh my god.
That guy sound like an indie worker.
And I just
driving 100 miles to fucking
$50.
$50.
Yeah, I like that was even that and it was triggering to me because I'm like, if I have a son, that's a moment that's gonna happen where it's gonna be like, hey, I got you this thing. All you gotta do is put it together. Well, you do it, Dad. And I'll be like, oh no, I can just.
Well,
see
what
that.
would happen? I can see it. Is like it's one of two things. Would be like, no, it's your thing. You put it together,
Yeah.
and then when it sits for like 3 weeks
Yeah.
unassembled, you're just gonna get frustrated and do it one day, or you're gonna be one of those dads that like the kid's gonna be like, and you're gonna plop a toolbox in front of him and go, "Here's everything you need to do it."
Yeah.
And I expect everything to be back in the same spot. Every tool put back where you got it from.
I would love to think I'll be that dad, but we all know with my patience, I'd be the first dad.
Yeah.
Where I just put it together, they win. That's what's gonna happen with a lot in life. I'm hoping that maybe I can be more patient. But
Well, I feel like angry people like you
yeah,
do that because they know that'll make them more angry, and secretly they're only happy when they're angry. So you're gonna do it because you know you'll be able to bottle up your frustration
yeah.
and dwell on that.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Did I nail that one on the head?
Well, it's a situational thing. Who's to say? I might be in that mindset where I'm just sitting there, just fucking outright frustrated.
Well, you're gonna be mad because it won't
Yeah.
just be that he didn't put it together.
Yeah.
It'll be that he opened the box and shit's kind of spread out,
Yeah.
and he left a mess on
and maybe
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
and maybe some of it's on like my work table or I can definitely see that. Or like he's pushed my plain stuff aside to put his. Oh yeah. There's definitely going to be a lot of factors that go into me secretly going like, well, I did give birth to him. I could rip his skin off his body, and I
You
really
didn't
should get
give
in
birth
trouble
to
for it.
anything. What are you talking
Well,
about?
I mean, I gave life. I gave life too.
You got a lucky shot once. That was it.
Everyone gets a lucky shot every now and then.
You made a half-court shot, and you've been celebrating. You've been taking credit for it ever since.
That's my genetic. Let's make a deal win. So just real quick, we got off. All right.
Speaking of babies.
Speaking of babies, so fucking Grogu now has.
Oh God!
Yes.
I knew. See, that's why I knew. I gave you the segue.
You did. You
Baby
fucking-
Yoda, Gogurt, whatever his name is,
Ben's mission is to never say their name right.
Gregory.
Gregor. But fucking Luke Skywalker,
hmm
bro. Here's the thing.
Not just Luke Skywalker, but the one that everyone always wanted to see.
The
The Master Jedi, Luke Skywalker.
hold on.
I watched it again. I'm watching it, like all the fight, even though it's obviously not him doing the fighting and stuff. It's probably a body double, but like the style's the same as from the movies.
Yeah.
And it's
this weird. It's this weird like.
But that uncanny valley thing.
It's
really,
a reversal of the Rogue One Vader.
Yeah.
Like the back to back.
They
light
know
side,
what
dark
they're
side.
doing.
Oh,
They know
they
what they're
fucking. So my exact text to Kevin as I'm watching. The last 10 minutes of the Mandalorian finale was better than the entire last Star Wars trilogy. All I've ever wanted to see was a fully realized Luke Skywalker.
Entire last trilogy? How about the
Yes.
last two trilogies?
The prequels had its moments, I suppose. Duel of the Fates is still the best lightsaber fight I've ever seen.
Listen, can I tell you something?
Sure.
If you're going to tell stories out of order,
Yeah.
you can't fuck them up. Because you know
Yeah.
how things turn out. And those fucking the prequel movies are just squirrely as fuck.
So Dave Filoni in a podcast said something that made me look at least that first movie in a way different context than I had before.
Yeah, the reverential
Duel of the Fate.
Whatever.
Yeah. That no, I can't justify everything else that came after that. When he said that in the podcast, I was like, oh, I look at it differently now, and it makes more sense. And contextually, I'm like, I like that. You still did nothing with Darth Maul after a whole movie of him. But hey,
you killed the two most interesting characters in that movie, and the movie had 4 fucking climaxes at once.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the fact that it was a poorly made movie.
But yeah, all I've ever wanted
and
to see
poorly casted. I mean, that kid was terrible and fucking, and you came up with dumb characters that were just atrocious.
Misa want more.
Yeah.
All I've ever wanted to see was a fully realized Luke Skywalker. They finally given me what I've always wanted. How hard was that?
Yeah, I think that's the last you see of him too.
Of
Of both those characters, I don't think you see them again.
we might not. Given what Filoni and Favreau have been able to pull off in 2 seasons of Mandalorian, I'm not putting anything.
I think story-wise, they're moving on.
Well, the
the
big fan thing, see, I've heard rumors that the goalpost for them to get to, hopefully, if everything goes right, is to basically write that last trilogy out canonically entirely. I think everyone realized that while Force Awakens may have started well,
I don't think they need to. I think that by just having Luke in and out, you're not involved in that Skywalker bullshit.
I didn't realize though that like the entire fan thing was like everyone wants to see Sebastian Stan as young Luke, and then
because he looks just like him.
Fucking Christ, dude! And I didn't realize it until I saw the comparison. I was like, holy shit!
And it's a real human being, not this like CGI thing that looked off. I mean, like when you look at it,
you knew it was going to though. You were prepared for it.
But because I'm saying you had another option.
Well, yeah, you could. I think for this one off, what they did was probably best. But if you're going to,
they've done it 3 times, and they've done it poorly 3 times. They did it with Leia. They did it with what's his name from the original Death Star guy.
Yeah,
the old guy, Peter Cushing.
Yeah, Peter Cushing.
And now they've done it with him. And in Star Wars, it's been poor every single time. But when you look at the de-aged Sam Jackson or Tony Stark or Howard Stark or
mostly holds up still.
Or Michael Douglas in the Marvel movies,
mostly holds up.
It doesn't look bad at all. So that's weird. I don't understand when you're all under the same umbrella.
Yeah.
How one and they probably I don't know if they use ILM, but why wouldn't it hit you that for the Marvel stuff that there's a discrepancy, and I get that one's like a major motion picture, but 2 of the Star Wars things were major motion pictures.
I've always said this about ILM. I said this after the prequels and after I walked out of the first Transformers movie. I went, how did ILM make fucking alien robots like photorealistic? Like you walked out of the first Transformers. Hold on.
I have the answer for that before you say anything else.
Well, you don't know what I'm saying though.
Yeah, I do. Go ahead.
But all of their Star Wars is shit. ILM, whenever they do third-party stuff outside of Star Wars,
no.
Star Wars, their Star Wars stuff was the prequel Star Wars animation was garbage. And if you try to watch it now, it's fucking. I tried to watch Clone Wars the other day, unwatchable.
That was pre-Transformers.
What I'm saying is, but then
here's why. Because when you're doing things like cars and robots, they're not. There's a difference between doing human beings.
Yeah.
And when you do human beings, your eye notices everything that's wrong.
Yeah.
It's an effect
Yeah.
called the uncanny valley.
Yeah.
And it's like your mind can't. If it's a little off, your mind sees it immediately. Whatever. You don't see that with a car or a truck or whatever. You see it with skin tones and hair and human beings when something doesn't move naturally or look right. And so that's the only reason. When you see an alien.
Yeah.
I mean, other than like it blending into a scene or shadows and lighting and stuff, that's a different story. But any alien, any CGI stuff in Star Wars that's not human
Yeah.
is seamless.
Yeah.
Because your mind doesn't know what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Your mind knows what a human face is supposed to look like, especially one that exists, like Luke Skywalker or Mark Hamill. When you do it with a robot that transforms into a car, you're like, okay, I guess that's what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
You know, that's the whole explanation.
I've just always said that ILM is always best when it's not working on something that's Star Wars. I just feel their Star Wars shit is shit. But I will say, we watched Rogue One like a couple weeks ago. I can tell the Peter Cushing thing way more now than I could back then, but it doesn't bother me because the idea...
Yeah, but in that movie, you got two CGI created characters, and you compare the two in this way. That fucking robot or Peter Cushing.
Yeah.
And one you never say, hey, that looks like a fucking computer cartoon, and the other screams computer cartoon, and that's the human versus a robot that you don't know what it's supposed to look like anyways.
And I think the Peter Cushing thing is far more jarring because you know he's dead. And so you watch it and you're just like, well, they did the best they could, I suppose. And listen, neither one of us.
What'll happen is 5 years they'll update it.
Yeah.
In 5 years when we watch those, they'll have changed.
The Carrie Fisher one never bothered me. I'm like for the few moments that she's even on screen, I went, that's a good job. Okay, cool. The Luke Skywalker one, because I remember he's making his way through, and I remember I turned to Natalia and I went, okay, they're going to have to unmask him. Now, what are they going to do? Because I didn't realize what they were going to do. I'm like, I think they're just going to do the thing they did in the past, but maybe they cast someone who looks remarkably like Mark Hamill, not knowing the Sebastian Stan shit. Because I just wasn't paying attention.
Well, casting Sebastian Stan only makes sense if you're going to continue doing young Luke Skywalker stuff, and they're not.
We don't know.
I'm telling you, they're not.
We don't know.
Because Mark Hamill's around, and he'll be greatly offended, and everyone else that's not like replace a guy that exists is going to say that. You know, the only person you're allowed to use now to replace a character that an actor that's alive
Chewie?
that you can't de-age, no, is Han Solo, because they cast someone young.
Yeah.
Just bring that guy back.
Yeah.
But they never cast to retell Luke stories. So, and now that they've done a de-aging, you're committed. You're committed.
I will say this. That Filoni and Favreau have, for whatever reason, rewritten the book on Star Wars and what Disney should have probably been doing with them all along, starting with small stories, this kind of stuff. I mean, now you have a whole economy of characters that you didn't know or care about 2 years ago that you're like making whole shows about, and you brought all
except that you started with that, but by the time you've ended with it, you have major characters in there.
Yeah,
not Luke, but like the Boba Fett's and the Oscars or whatever the fuck her name is, and you've thrown Thrawn's name out there, and these are all they may not be movie established characters,
but they're canon characters,
and they're like, if you watch a cartoon, they're major characters here and there. So they've done that,
and that's what I love about the one thing I love about Star Wars is their animated universe is just as canon and as important as their live action universe, and Filoni and Favreau were the first people to take advantage of that. And I think because of that, and because of the way Mandalorian has evolved, the just everyone's excitement about Star Wars. I'm not saying anything is anything, but you just did with Luke Skywalker what 3 major movies couldn't fucking do, and I think Disney will think about that, but we'll see where it goes. Maybe nothing happens out of it. Maybe nothing should happen out of it, but Luke has always been the face of the franchise, and if they think that they can get something out of a run because you got 25 years to work with, hell, even if you do a short series with him and his Knights of the New Republic or whatever the fuck, I don't fucking know, and to tell the story that makes the the 3 last atrocious garbage movies make fucking sense. Maybe they do that. Maybe they don't. But what we did get, bro. I went in that show knowing I was going to see a Jedi. I thought it was going to be Mace Windu. I had all my money on Mace Windu, and we got Luke fucking Skywalker, and I was so happy. Like you can ask Natalia. I'm sitting there like I'm just like candy store, my fucking mouth agape, and I'm just like, oh god, this is so amazing. And the anime and the CGI de-aging, it wasn't that great, but at the same time, this isn't a movie. With really high end show.
No, it's the same budget. They're spending the same type of money.
I would assume because it was 40 minutes. I would assume that and there was so much happened in that episode with TIE fighters and everything else. They definitely spent some money on that. And I'm actually interested to see what happens. I entered Mandalorian going my first thing when Mandalorian was first announced was finally a fucking Mandalorian that doesn't suck because Boba Fett was. I've always hated Boba Fett.
That's because you have never watched the Christmas special.
No, I have never watched
with
the Christmas
animation.
Special. I only ever saw him in the live action movies where all he did was ferry a mostly carbonated Han Solo across the galaxy and then get thrown into a Sarlacc pit. He didn't, and then I guess he looked cool in his armor. That was it. He was fucking useless. I never understood everyone's shit with him. And it's easy.
I'll tell you what it was. It was that he had a cool action figure, and the action figure was out before Empire.
Yeah, and he had I think it was the first action figure that shot a muscle.
It did for a little bit.
Yeah.
It had a spring-loaded red little missile, and then because it was the '80s,
you instantly lost the missile.
Not only was it a swallowing hazard for young children, but also it was a projectile.
Yeah.
So later models, I think, of that toy did not shoot it out.
Dude, I have some of my original G1 figures, some of their missile launchers. Dude, if I shot the missile at you, if I shot the missile right here, I'm like what? I'm like 10, 12.
But those are Japanese?
I'm like 10 feet away from that wall. If I shot a missile from here, it's gonna put a fucking indent in that wall.
Yeah.
And then then the G2 figures, which were all produced in America, either had those missiles removed completely or they were a one piece. So yeah, it's some of those older figures from back in the day, man. They could do some damage. Boba Fett could probably take an eye out from a fucking room and a half away.
Remember the Shogun Warrior figure, the big one.
Yeah,
the hands shot out from the body.
Oh my god, they could probably bruise you.
Yeah,
that's fucking.
I don't remember if they were that.
Yeah. But seeing like the end credits with Bubba sitting on Jabba's throne, I'm like, I'll watch that. Fuck yeah, I'll watch that. Like in the 3 or 4 appearances he had in the later end of season 2, I'm like, all right, Boba Fett's cool as fuck. Like, congratulations, Filoni and Favreau. I'll just keep saying it because those two are they're basically taking the Marvel approach on a smaller scale to rebuild back to it will eventually be 10 years from now. It'll just be the same fucking tent pole scale.
The difference is Marvel, for the most part, honors the stories that have been written, and on a lot of these characters, it's 50 or 60 years worth of stories, and the difference between Marvel movies and people that made movies with Marvel characters before that is that they know that they're not necessarily writing something better than what was written originally. Yeah. Don't take an idea from the books and go, well, let's throw it all out and write it our way.
Yeah, they're contemporizing.
There's a lot of hubris there, and with the Star Wars, there's nothing written, so they're just taking characters, and because they're such fans of the product, they're just going. It's literally like 2 really creative kids playing with toys, and coming up with new scenarios for these things. There's no established. I mean, on a couple of them, there's established background. You just have to honor it, but they're not telling a story that's been written. In a movie form, they're creating everything they create is original for Star Wars. In Marvel, it's not. I mean, you can like put your spin on it, but if you put your spin on it, it better be better than the original idea.
Like what they did like what they did with Mandarin.
It's a very different. Process.
But the idea of keeping it centric to the characters in the story are the same. And
as long as they've been established.
So we've been going off on the young Luke thing. The fakest character, easily the fakest CGI in that entire episode was whatever the fuck they did with R2D2.
I didn't know.
How the fuck do you not have a practical effect for R2D2? I know that you have a few of those laying around.
I thought that was.
No,
I didn't notice.
It looks CGI as fuck to me, man. It looks so unrealistic. It looked so. It looked like it was ham-fisted in at the last second because like they forgot R2 needs to be by Luke at all times, or oh fuck, we have R2. We can fuck with the droids. Why haven't we done that? And they just put that in. I don't know what it was.
I'll watch again because I don't think so.
I don't know what it was, but it really took me out because I was just like, it should excite me, but I went, oh, what the fuck is that? Like yeah, Luke may not be the best when it comes to what they did with his face. I don't personally have a problem with it, but I understand that. But R2D2, that animation, maybe it was practical, maybe I just was too hot. I don't know.
You know what the other problem with the Luke face was? They made him better looking than he was at that time.
Oh, because he was jacked up after that car wreck.
His face kind of got uglier through the 3 movies,
which worked for the character.
And if I saw a picture side by side of the CGI face and a shot of him from a Jedi,
yeah,
and they made his eyes more symmetrical, and they some of they just that's why the face was too perfect.
That's what you're talking about. It's
and if you look at a real picture of him, the eyes are off from each other. The face, everything isn't even on both sides. You know what I mean? They may have even eliminated a scar or two. That kind of shit.
Those, especially the scars, is important because
he should have.
Yeah,
and I think maybe at that point he should have had a beard just to kind of put a little bit of transition in there. But fuck it, you wanted that. You wanted that old one, so
you needed to see that. I think you needed.
It's
to
fine.
See
I just think they. Instead of just scanning him in the way he was, I'm using it. They were like, "Oh, his eyes, one's higher than the other. Let's make him even." And I'm like, "What are you doing? Then he's not going to look like what you're doing."
And see, I saw the X-wing come in, and I'm sitting there like, it could still be Mace Windu. He just got to fucking. It's
not like anyone can't have a fucking shit.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking it could be Mace, and he's fucking, just propagating all that nonsense. And his high is like, why do you want Mace Windu so bad? I'm like, A, we know he's still alive. B, aging-wise, it's perfect. It still works within the continuity of everything. C, fucking, I want to see Mace Windu, Samuel L. Jackson, wreck some shit.
Oh, yeah, he could have just been old.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't have to de-age him.
They didn't have to de-age him at all, because it works in the continuity.
But it wouldn't have gotten the buzz this got.
And mostly, I was like, you don't have to do anything. You just put Samuel L. Jackson in a fucking robe. Yeah. And you get a stunt double to do all the stunt shit.
But this sold subscriptions.
But then they gave my boy Luke his real entrance, and I went, all right, I understand.
Your boy. Right, on that.
One more thing. So we were talking earlier this week about, I had brought it up in the truck, and
we as in you and me. I
know you
were doing the royal we.
So I just want to bring this up because I have an opinion on this. You have a much different opinion on it, and that usually works whenever we're yelling at each other. So fucking earlier in this week, Jake Paul calls out Conor McGregor, which is fine. He's a YouTuber. He's learning to be a boxer. Him and his brother. His brother's already fighting Floyd Mayweather in an exhibition fight in January, where Floyd is going to make him look good, but punish him if he tries to get out of his fucking his step a little bit.
His lane.
His lane. Jake Paul calls out Conor McGregor with a $50 million completely fucking, he's like, it's insured and it's yours to fight. Normally, nothing wrong with that. Talk shit about his wife on the way. Now, obviously, Jake Paul's just playing a character. Like Conor played a character for the longest time to get where he needs to go. Nothing wrong with that. I have a personal thing about talking shit about a professional fighter's family because some of these people aren't exactly attached to reality. It's why they fight professionally. Conor McGregor flew across the world with his boys to wreak havoc at Madison Square Gardens after a perceived slight against his boy Danny Dennis. So he's not exactly the person, if you're going to call out, you do it in that way, because he'll probably kill you or have you killed on the side of a street behind a fucking restaurant. And, he doesn't need the fucking money. He doesn't care. But I understand Jake Paul Jake Paul's attitude and where he's going about it, he's creating a buzz that will create his economy more money. I understand all that. Do you see what he did yesterday?
No.
So Brandon Schaub had Conor McGregor's friend Danny Dennis on Food Truck Diaries.
Oh, I saw a video of them like driving by it or something.
Jake Paul drove up and started throwing water balloons at him, and like I think it was water balloons and something else. Nothing. No objects of like destruction or anything like that.
No diesel batteries.
No, nothing like that. But just to tell your Conor to sign the contract. Just again trying to create this buzz. And then Danny fucking got hit with a water balloon, ran after him, and they sped off in the truck. There's a few videos of it. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, who do you think you're fucking with? For one, Danny has no say in how Conor does his work. He's not just going to call his boy up and be like, oh, yeah, fuck Dustin Poirier, like sign this contract with his YouTuber. Like, that's not how that works. But he's like a fucking world-class level grappler. Like, if he gets his hands on you, you're dead.
Yeah, but that's not. It doesn't matter. They're selling clicks. They're selling views. They're selling a potential fight. And he probably had 3 extra million views on the YouTube video he posted.
I agree.
The next day, and he probably made an extra $50,000 to $100,000 doing that.
But that's
worth it.
But here's where it's not worth it. That guy he threw water balloons is the guy that Conor McGregor jumped halfway across the world to commit fucking felonies.
So they're not gonna. You keep thinking these guys are gonna just put the law into their own hands over water balloons.
Conor McGregor did it. He did it before.
He threw a fucking chair at a
Khabib
bus.
Slapped him.
He threw
and
a
he
chair.
went crazy.
He threw a chair at a bus. I don't think he would have actually put his hands on anyone. I legit think it was the same thing. Conor was creating a stir. He wanted to get a match. He was doing what Jake Paul is doing now.
I agree 100%.
So then what's
You're fucking with the wrong. I just think it's different when fighters do it to other fighters.
Well,
and you want to call Jake Paul a fighter, I understand.
I don't want to call him anything. I want to call him a promoter. I want to call him a guy that understands how to create a buzz to make money.
I mean, him and his brother
for himself and anyone else.
Him and his brother are easily.
That's why, like Jose Canseco calling him out. Yeah. Jose, you're not a draw. Go away. Nobody cares about you.
Jose Canseco called out Conor McGregor.
No, he called out the Paul brothers. He wanted to fight them.
God,
Isn't one of them? Didn't one of them fuck his daughter or something? I don't know. And they were talking shit about him.
Wait, is his twin going to show up instead?
We're dialed. Yeah, but it's like, but Jose, nobody wants to see you fight.
I kind of do.
Nobody cares. Well, but you're not going to pay for it.
Oh, that's true.
Right.
That's true.
You need someone on the other end that creates a sizzle too, and they're just creating that. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. I gotta pee really fucking
okay,
bad.
all right.
So
it was a long week. It's Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy Hanukkah. Hanukkah is over with, I guess.
I think
over today,
I think so.
or
I don't know.
It's Sunday. I think it's over already.
I don't know.
I think it's been 8 days. Or happy 8th.
I only knew it was Hanukkah because I saw it on TikTok on Caitlin Cohen's account. She lights the candles every night.
Oh my God! You know what? I got nothing.
I didn't say anything.
So I guess next episode will be our New Year's episode. The last episode of the year be on the 27th. So yeah, last episode of the year. So we'll do a year in review, or maybe not do a year in review. We never fall through half this shit anyway.
Well, if it involves production or work,
it's a Ben thing.
It's a
Ben thing.
If you want it, it's a you thing, pal.
Oh, all right. So it'll be an hour of us doing what we normally do.
Well, I might have plenty of time to do it. We'll see how this week goes.
But Merry Christmas to everybody. Have spend time with your family, or don't because of COVID. And okay, bye. I suppose.
Listen to how professional you're trying to.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
To do a wrap up.
It's
other
been
than
a year, man. We got to get our shit together.
Well, we should wrap it up by saying go visit the website and buy our merchandise. Links in description. Blah blah blah.
Ben, we should do it that way.
Go follow us on social media.
Look at
I don't care about them having a happy Christmas.
Buy our shit.
I care about us having a happy Christmas.
Yeah. Keep our economy alive. We got sweatshirts and shit now.
Yeah, I got one for you here. Hold
Woo!
on. All right, that's it.
Bye bye.